Welcome to the Hannah and Dave Happy
Hour. What, so you get top billing?
Yep, because I invented it.
I'm not getting paid enough for
Feminism.
Bottom billing.
Is it going to be an hour? Maybe. Probably not. That's a lot of work.
That's a lot of stuff.
That's a lot of us talking.
Yeah, but we got a lot of fun stuff for you. So,
stay tuned.
And see a bunch of cool stuff.
Cool.
Awesome.
Are you depressed? Is getting out of bed difficult? Do you struggle with completing basic tasks? Do you often find yourself lost in thought at the world's impending doom? Introducing Nature, the world's first free treatment for those with mild to no depression. Try strolling around your neighborhood, listening to the children laugh and play. Jog around the park, releasing some much-needed endorphins. Science has shown that vitamin D rays from the sun can help with depression and lessen other mental illnesses like anxiety or paranoia.
It's skin cancer.
Nature, now with Neighbor using power washer at all hours of the day. Noisy woodpecker. Sunburns. Stupid honeybees. Hay fever. Pokey grass. And door creaking in the wind.
Doctors recommend between 14 and 20 hours of nature a day before seeing noticeable results. Not responsible for accidents, kidnappings, air pollution, or climate change. For real help with your depression, seek out a real doctor and real medicine. If you're too poor for a doctor, well, what are you doing? Get a job, you freeloader.
Nature, the world's first free treatment for clinical depression. Brought to you by the state of Florida.
Now we've come to the part of our show where we recommend a movie to all of you. Or in this case, movies.
Mm-hmm. 4 of them.
Because we watched 4 Batman movies.
We haven't seen the newest one yet because I'm not paying to go to a theater for 3 hours. But I'll watch it on HBO Max 100%.
See, I'm a snack girl. I'm a get up and walk around girl. Like, gotta go use the bathroom. I can't be sitting in a movie theater for 3 hours when I can't hit pause.
I mean, and even I could, right?
Who made that movie?
Who?
The Batman.
Matt Reeves.
Who?
He did some other stuff.
Sure.
The first 4 Batmans. Would you call it Batmen or Batman?
We watched the Batmen.
We watched the Batman.
I
feel like you're so far away.
We're in the tropics.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of plant this is, but clearly
it's a dead plant. But we're going to talk about one first.
Yeah.
Because
it's only right to talk about it in order.
Batman. 1989.
I wasn't born yet.
So long ago.
That's so crazy to think
But also
about.
not that long ago.
Honestly, I used to be like any movie pre-1990s not worth it.
Yeah.
And this movie didn't necessarily change my mind.
You gotta think about what it did, though. Like,
right.
It had to happen so that the Christopher Nolan Batmans could happen.
Well,
you know?
It just had to happen so movies in general could happen. Like,
it was the Batman is a detective kind of movie rather than like Batman's a tech billionaire. These are not origin stories, which is weird to think about a Batman movie not being an origin story.
Honestly, Michael Keaton, like that turtleneck.
Yeah, what do you think of the Michael Keaton Batman?
He's very suave. You can definitely see like he tries to throw like comedy lines in there and like be like, I am still a comic book character and I am still a comedy actor. So
they're comic booky, which I find endearing. Like they're just goofy. You can't take them. You can't take them seriously.
Who was the first one? Jack Nicholson was the first one.
Jack Nicholson, yeah. I really liked the Michael Keaton Batman. I think he brought a lot of things to Batman that we take for granted. Like we just think, oh, that's Batman, but no, that's Michael Keaton making a conscious choice of like, this is how Batman's gonna be going into a new decade. Like the gravelly voice. That wasn't like Batman just talked like a normal dude.
Yeah, like between Bruce Wayne and Batman.
In the old one, he was just talk like this, like a suave
He also
Batman.
wore long underwear and didn't wear a real suit of
but
armor,
it was like Michael Keaton's idea to talk like this when he's Batman because
he's a
obviously
comic actor.
You'd want to disguise your voice.
So what do you think about the Joker though as a villain? Because honestly, I didn't think he was like menacing. But it's hard. See, it's hard for me to think of movies before 1990 as like a menacing character. But it's just because of the way the films are shot. But like he's just goofy. Like he's doing these menacing things and like killing people.
And his whole plot is like putting poison in like deodorant to like kill people with laughter. Like it's just ridiculous. It's just funny. It's Kim Basinger as Vicky Vale, which like growing up, she was an icon for me. Like I used to dress up like Vicky Vale all the time. I thought she was the Catman. Cat interruption. It's probably gonna happen. All three of them are out here.
I think he's
with
just mad
us.
that we're not talking about.
We are in their space. Yeah, hold on, guys. That's the next movie. Vicky Vale is the love interest, I guess, of the movie. I think she does a good job. I'm not really sure, like, so she's a reporter or something. The Joker just decides to be obsessed with her, and that, like, causes this love triangle.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember that part. Was the first one the one where he had the airplane?
Yeah, where he gets the balloon.
That was pretty cool. Like, I have to imagine in 1989, when Michael Keaton came on screen with that airplane.
For the time, this movie slaps, but we just have better adaptations. But they had to walk so that Batman, the Dark Knight, could fly.
But then you find out at the end of the movie that it was the Joker who killed Batman's parents.
Yeah.
Which is... Okay.
Okay.
But Bruce Wayne didn't even know that to go until, like, he found out at the end, so he didn't really have any, like, quarrel with the Joker until he was like, oh, I put in the pieces together.
But he had personal justice.
You said the name Jack, and now I'm like, Jack. Jack is the person who killed my parents when I was a child.
Jack.
Now I'm Batman.
I've been looking for Jack.
And also Alfred. They have the same Alfred.
Yeah.
These two, and then the Joel Schumacher ones too, right? Which is funny because this, like, you're like, Alfred's just a little old nobody, but really, he's smarter than everybody.
Yeah, he's the real mastermind. I liked Michael Keaton. I think outside of Christian Bale, he's probably the best Batman. I disliked probably the plot. I did also like how they did Gotham. It's like futuristic, but also in the past at the same time. I really like when movies do that, when it's like kind of an ambiguous time period.
Yeah, I mean, Tim Burton definitely has like a filter that goes over all of his movies. It's like, it's a Tim Burton movie.
I just love Tim Burton too. I think I'm a little biased. I want to live in his world.
I just think it's so funny. Like, it's such, like, the stakes were high, right? Like, Joker was murdering people, but at the same time, it's like he goes, bang! And, like, nothing comes out of the gun, and they go, ah! But that's just me being a, millennial, I guess, who's just,
we just need spectacle.
Cinematography.
So, what do you rate this movie out of bat signals?
2.5.
2.5. Okay.
What about you?
I was going to give it 2.5 as well.
Alright, see, look at that, same page.
2.5, it's about Midland. Moving right along.
The Batman Returns.
Batman Returns, made in the best year ever known to years, 1992. This guy.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say 1991 because of you.
No.
But you're wow, she loves me. 92, right? That's old. It's 29 years ago.
That's old as hell.
I'm old. Man, so this is now post 1990, so I just instantly like this movie a little bit better than the first one because it's just already based on my rule. It's post 1990s. Yeah. Danny DeVito is probably like. He's eating raw fish throughout the course of the movie, okay?
He scared me. This was my favorite one when I was a kid because Michelle Pfeiffer, I wanted to be her and date her, like, at the same time. So that, like, awoke some things in me. But Danny DeVito scared the living crap out of me. And he still does.
I mean, just what a crazy...
He's given it.
What a crazy concept, too. Like, he isn't even, like, only in the underworld. He ran for mayor.
Yeah.
He was running for mayor in the movie.
He, like, has an Annie subplot where he's, like, looking for his parents, finds out he's a cobblepot.
Yeah, it's so funny, too. Like, the opening scene is, like, Jesus being sent down the river to
Moses.
Yeah, well, I'm not very religious, so...
but that's some Old Testament shit, Dave. You should know that. So we got Michelle Pfeiffer, Danny DeVito, Michael Keaton again, Christopher Walken. I just love, like, her evolution into Catwoman. Like, when she comes home and she's, like, spilling milk all over the place and trashing things.
Her eyes twitching out.
And making stuff out of leather. Like, that just really speaks to me on, like a level. But also, like, she clearly becomes mentally ill. Like, she has a traumatic brain injury. And that's kind of how they explain, like, how she becomes Catwoman.
It was interesting how she went to Penguin at some point of the movie.
Yeah.
And Penguin went to Shrek at some point of the movie. And then she had it out for Shrek. And then Batman had it out with Shrek.
Batman is, like, the least of this movie.
I know, honestly, I don't even remember
it's
Michael
all
Keaton
about
in this
the
movie.
villains.
I just remember him kind of having a couple one-liners.
Yes.
Next Shrek, he had a couple good lines. He had his son, which I didn't realize was his son. Until he told him to go. He's like, go!
And I feel like the actor playing his son was purposely trying to sound like Christopher Walken. So he was, like, doing a Christopher Walken voice. So you could be like, I'm his son.
This one's just fun to watch because, like, the environment that they built for Penguin right from the start.
Yeah.
Like, his
little penguin cronies.
He lives in the zoo. They're actual... I think...
underground zoo.
I think they use real penguins. And I can only assume that he ate real fish also.
Probably. He pulled a Gollum where he just... What do you rate this movie out of Bat Signals?
I rated it 3.5.
Okay.
What about you?
I gave it a 4.
So on to the third one.
Batman Forever. Introducing Val Kilmer, and then we got Two-Face. No, yeah,
Riddler.
we got Two-Face and the Riddler.
Which, man, they're like the same in this movie. You can just tell that Tommy Lee was having the time... Tommy Lee Jones. Sorry, not Tommy Lee. Tommy Lee Jones. Was having the time of his life. Tommy Lee was basically the Joker, but just with the Two-Face's name.
I gotta say, I did not like Two-Face in this movie. He was too, like, the perfect split down the middle.
All of his suits perfectly split.
It was just too comic
But this was the movie, too, we're right. So Joel Schumacher started directing this one, right?
Yeah.
Like, there was no, like, dark, gritty overtone or undertone. It was... This is a comic book. I think I read some trivia somewhere, like Joel Schumacher was saying, like, we're making a cartoon.
Yeah.
So act like you're in a cartoon. Which is why Jim Carrey is great, right?
Yeah.
Like, this is the Batman villain from these movies that stands out to me the most is Jim Carrey's Riddler, because...
He's having a great time. And I feel like him and Tommy Lee Jones are just constantly trying to, like, upstage each other, so they're just giving it and giving it and giving it.
Yeah, I didn't remember that they had, like, so many scenes with each other.
Yeah, they're, like, co-villains. And then we got Nicole Kidman as Chase Meridian, also a reporter. He's got a thing for reporters.
Was she a real character even in the comics? I don't know, but just throw Nicole Kidman in there too. And at the time, right, none of these guys were big actors yet either.
Yeah, I think Nicole Kidman was, like, starting to become one. And, like, Val Kilmer decided to be Batman because he wanted to, like, launch his career.
And then he hated it.
And he did not have a good time.
We hated it too, Val. Did you even have any lines?
He was just okay. I feel like his heart wasn't really in it.
But this is where we get introduced to Chris O'Donnell.
Yeah.
We get Robin's origin story.
Don't really remember the plot of this one either. I think it had something to do with, I want to say, bombs?
I remember just the Riddler pushed that guy out the building to kill him in the beginning to turn into the Riddler. And he wore some really cool suits.
I like all the riddles. I love a movie that has, like, games you can play while you're watching it. Like, solve the riddles in real time.
So what do you give this movie then?
I give this movie... I'm going to give it 2 bat signals. I think it was my least favorite.
I'm going to give it 4.
Wow.
Because I like
controversial.
Jim Carrey. Which was funny to me about these movies too is like how his hair was always just like, he'd be the Riddler and so his hair would be short and like blonde or red or whatever color he had it at the time. And then he'd go back out again and be Edward Nygma. Like, was he running from air too?
I don't know. Thin plots.
Thin plots, but super cartoony world. Thin. So I give it a 4 because I liked him the best. Right, these movies got horrible reviews on IMDb. The Joel Schumacher ones.
Yeah.
Like the next one we're about to talk about got like a 3 or something.
Which makes no sense to me.
It's almost better because these lines are like so stupid. Like these villain lines that they say are like they're so dumb.
You can't really have like a serious villain because a serious villain would not be dressing in costumes and, you know, sending riddles out.
That's what you think.
I mean, yeah, I guess I don't really know. I don't come across a lot of real villains, but, like, Hitler didn't do that. I guess the mustache.
Yeah, the mustache was kind of a costume, right? I'm
Jewish
and I play Otto Frank.
First thing that popped into my mind. Sorry.
The fourth one, Batman
and Robin. Together at last.
Which, honestly, has the best villains. Arnold Schwarzenegger is phenom.
Uma Thurman.
Phenom.
Man, she is gorgeous in this movie, first and foremost. Love all her costumes.
Honestly, this is the movie that inspired us, really, to watch all the Batman, because we were on a road trip going to Tampa. We were listening to How Did This Get Made? Great podcast.
Great podcast.
And we were listening to the Batman and Robin, How Did This Get Made?
Which shocked me, in a way, because I loved this movie as a kid. I watched this movie probably, like, once a month. But they're talking about it on this podcast, like, all the parts that were my favorite parts, like, it's a bad thing. And I'm like, no, this is genius filmmaking. And you know what? This movie holds up.
Which is funny, because George Clooney's easily the worst
Batman. The worst Batman.
The sun just came in, so if I'm squinting, it's because the sun came in.
It's like going down and up at the same time.
It's our outdoor
right
studio.
There.
George Clooney doesn't even bother to try.
Yeah.
And, like, he's on record as saying, like, this movie sucks and he thinks he ruined the Batman
And I think Chris O'Donnell
franchise.
didn't like it either, but who cares? This movie's about the villains, and Uma Thurman and especially Arnold Schwarzenegger are having the time of their life. And I appreciate a movie where adults are just having a blast, goofing around.
Yeah, acting should be fun.
Entertaining.
It's fun.
It's entertaining to me.
You shouldn't feel like you're working. You gotta feel like you're having a good time.
Bat nipples. And then we got Alicia Silverstone.
For some reason.
Alfred's
Alfred's American niece.
Who
shows up and Batman had no
70
idea.
70 years younger than he is somehow.
Yeah, she did steal a motorcycle at one point. That's probably what she... You know what? She is the villain of this movie.
What's that called? Larceny?
Yeah. Thief. Isn't that why she got kicked out of school for being a thief?
Yeah, I think so. They didn't say it explicitly, but I think that's why. I love it.
I love when they bring Arnold to jail. And, like, he has the beam of cold, and, like, he steps on, they're like, ha ha ha, you're so weak, you can't do it. He's like, oh no, I'm dying. I need the cold to make me live. What I remembered most about this movie all the time was when she kissed Chris O'Donnell, and then he ripped off his plastic lips, and she's like, oh no, you figured out my one power.
And then she gets thrown into the plant, and she's like, curses, Batman, curses.
Right? Straight out of a comic book.
Amazing. Brilliant filmmaking. So what do you rate Batman and Robin?
A 3.
A 3?
Yeah.
I give this movie a 4.9 bat signals. Most of it probably just for nostalgia's sake, but also I mean, as a 30-year-old woman, I watched it and enjoyed every second of it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it, and you don't need to retain that much of the information in the movie to enjoy it.
It's just entertaining.
Right, it's just entertainment.
It's just good, golden entertainment, and why are you making a movie unless you want to entertain people, really?
But those are our movies. I recommend you go watch them. They were all on Hulu.
Nice. You could probably find them at your local library, mildly scratched.
We've been renting a lot of movies from the library lately.
I'm a big fan of libraries. PSA, get a library card. Put money in your pocket.
Support your local libraries.
The more you know. Who would like to go first? Hi, my name's Rachel, and I'm a big dick.
Hi, Rachel.
Hi, Rachel. This weekend I was a big dick because my grandmother asked me to put some items in her Instacart for her, and instead I only bought alcohol and frosted animal crackers. That's too bad. You know Alcoholics Anonymous is after this, right? Yeah, I know. Jenny and I both go to that.
Hey!
Sorry, I'm a big dick. Anything else? Well, I outed an anonymous alcoholic from my Alcoholics Anonymous group to my Big Dicks Anonymous group. Yes, I know. We were all here for that. Would anyone else like to go? A newcomer!
A latecomer.
Welcome, welcome! Oh, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi, my name's Fred. And I have a big dick.
No.
Again? What?
This is a support group for people who are big dicks, not who have big dicks. That group meets on OnlyFans.
We need a new sign. I've been saying it for weeks. Well, this is embarrassing.
Are there only women in this group?
Anybody can join, but men don't like to admit that they are big dicks. Only that they have big dicks.
Clearly I'm in the wrong place because I have a big dick.
Well, fucking show us already. Show us your fucking cock!
Jenny! Sorry about that. It's our first meeting after the holidays. Everyone's a bit standoffish.
Guess I'll be going then.
Oh, wait. Exactly how big are we talking here? Rachel, this is not a productive conversation. How about I'll start naming fruits and you just tell me when I'm close, okay? Banana. Plantain.
Those are the same thing, Rachel!
Plantains are bigger. Yucca?
I don't know what that is. Papaya.
You don't have to answer. Durian?
It's big enough that women say it hurts if there isn't adequate foreplay.
Banana pepper. So what's the issue then, Fred? Why don't you just give women adequate foreplay?
Some women take so long.
Welcome to Big Dicks Anonymous, Fred. You're finally home.
Good stuff.
That was a good one.
That was really good. You actually.
Now we're on to our segment called Game Time Decisions, where if you don't know what game to play, hey, we got a game time decision for you.
We've become big gamers, like we were saying, since the pandemic started,
Yeah,
and
because what else you gonna do?
we've gotten a little obsessed with Villainous. Disney's Villainous.
A game we just picked up one day and decided to play, and were we hooked. So we have Disney's Villainous and Villainous Marvel Edition, and they both come with like bonus
Expansions.
expansion packs.
And
That's the word I'm looking for.
We have every expansion that's ever been released.
8.
Even the newest
Different
one that just came out in
boxes.
February with Syndrome.
We had to go get it right away.
Oh my gosh.
Right away. It's not a board game, but everybody has their own individual board and their own individual objectives that they're trying to achieve. And throughout, you can slow down the other villains, and they can try to slow you down so that they can achieve theirs faster. It's the first one to finish, basically.
You're playing against yourself, but you got all the other people who are playing trying to stop you because they want to get themselves.
Yeah.
So there's two sides of the board. There's the top side where the heroes go, where the heroes are the bad guys in this game. And the bottom side is where you play your villain cards and your allies or your items or...
to try to vanquish the heroes.
Whatever you have.
And for some people, your objective might be to vanquish a certain hero. Like for Captain Hook, for example, you're trying to obviously defeat Peter Pan. Like that's your main objective. For others, it's like have a certain amount of money or, find a certain card and play it with all of these other like parameters completed.
It's all about the sequence, and you can think you have something, and if you play the wrong card or don't move to the right space, because each space gives you a different amount of turns.
You have to like think out a couple like moves in advance.
I've been playing a lot of Pokemon also mid-pandemic, so it's like kind of a combination of Pokemon mixed with...
It's a card game, board game.
Like Dungeons and Dragons almost, where you're like building armies to defeat and vanquish the heroes.
And it's different every time. You need to have a different strategy every time because you're going to pull different cards in a different order every time.
Right,
so you might like find Peter Pan right away, but you have to like open up, you have to find the Neverland map and like open up the secret hideout.
It's all about sequencing. The artwork on all of the cards is phenomenal.
Yeah. It's just a really well like thought out game. I wasn't expecting to like have so much thought and care go into it, like whoever created them, but they're all really well done. And they're fun because, like I said, it's different every time, and we have 21 different characters that we can play with every time we want to play.
Hannah created a randomizer, so now whenever we want to play, Hannah just puts in the randomizer and just gives us all our characters.
It chooses for me.
So we're not sponsored by anyone yet at this Dave and Hannah... Oh, sorry. It's Hannah and Dave.
Today, anyways.
I'm not top billing. But Villainous, if you want to sponsor us, we're here.
Give them a try. Hannah and Dave approved. Well, that's all we got for you today.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for watching. Tune in next time for some more fun, more laughs,
more tears,
more discussions,
more commercials,
more movies,
sponsors possibly,
and probably some things you haven't seen yet.
Bless you.
We got a cat with allergies.
See you later.
Bye.